What's going on, everyone? This is Dom, and today we're taking a look at the best smartphones of 2016. Now, there's no particular order here, but these are definitely my favorites, and be sure to leave a like and check out a very special video linked in the description that I think you'll want to see. But first, can we have a moment of silence for one that would have definitely made this list, the Galaxy Note 7. Alright, so since one of Samsung's phones is out of the running, the next best thing is the Galaxy S7 or S7 Edge, and either of these are great smartphones. Now, Samsung has clearly raised its own bar with the S7, and there's a lot of greatness here. We have a beautiful 5.1-inch Super AMOLED display with a 2560 by 1440 resolution, and amazing 12-megapixel camera around the backside that's nearly second to none, and though it's an all-glass design and maybe a bit scary for some, it's a beautiful smartphone inside and out, and it's water resistant. And also with the S7 Edge, you have a lot of the Edge features here as well, which are pretty amazing, and you get a bit of a bigger display there. And be sure to check out my full review on these smartphones linked below, but the Galaxy S7 and its edgy brother are definitely a win for 2016. Next up, we're taking a look at the Google Pixel. Now, this was a last-minute addition to the year, but a great one at that. Google's new Pixel phone may have a bland design, but it packs nougat performance like no other, and it may have the best camera on an Android smartphone, which clocks in at 12.3 megapixels, but be sure to check out my full review on that for more. Now, with a Snapdragon 821 processor, 4GB of RAM, and a very crispy 5-inch 1080p display, this is definitely a worthy flagship with incredible battery life, if you can get over the boring design here. It's still one of my favorite Android smartphones from this year, and if you're curious about that skin on the back, well, I picked it up from Dbrand, and if you want to grab one for yourself for any of these smartphones mentioned here, I will leave links below for you. Moving along, we're looking at the only two iOS devices in this category, the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus, and while the design this year remained mostly unchanged, they're still solid smartphone picks nonetheless, and they pack water resistance, but are lacking a headphone jack. Apple made major improvements to the camera here, and it's more noticeable on the 7 Plus rear shooter with dual cameras for features like portrait mode and optical zoom, but these are obviously the only smartphones you can get that run iOS, so they're kind of untouched in many ways. With beautiful 4.7 and 5.5-inch displays, unmatched processing power, and a pretty awesome 12-megapixel camera on the backside, either of these are a great choice, and if you're getting the 7 Plus, you won't have to worry about battery life, as it's pretty damn awesome. Another fantastic smartphone that could very well be in the budget category is ZTE's Axon 7. Now, this thing has a very rugged and beautiful all-metal design, packs a 5.5-inch AMOLED display with a 1440p resolution, Snapdragon 820 processor, 4GB of RAM, and everything else you'll need in terms of specs, but all for a much lower price point than the competition. Just $349 right now, or $399 regularly. Either way, it's a great price for a flagship spec smartphone, and it's even packing a pretty legit 20-megapixel camera around the backside. There are also dual front-facing speakers here, which are pretty incredible as well, and overall, ZTE has a home run with the Axon 7, which is miles better than its predecessor, has a fantastic software experience, and will hold up over time thanks to its design. Moving along here, we're talking about the OnePlus 3T, and OnePlus started out in the business of killing flagships, but has since evolved into a pretty legit smartphone maker. Now, the recently released OnePlus 3T and the original OnePlus 3 make the 2016 list for a few reasons. Now, the OnePlus 3T is a better spin on the original release with an upgraded 16-megapixel front-facing camera, a slightly larger battery, and the Snapdragon 821 processor. So there's not much more here over the OnePlus 3, and it's definitely not worth upgrading to, but regardless, these are stellar smartphones for the money, and with a solid metal design, a beautiful 5.5-inch AMOLED display, and a whopping 6GB of RAM, it's definitely a hefty smartphone for your money. Finally, this list would not be complete without a couple of honorable mentions. First up being the LG V20. Now, this is a great smartphone that's honestly underappreciated, but LG hasn't had the best luck in smartphones this year, in my opinion anyway. The V20 is a fantastic smartphone that, surprisingly unlike any of these other phones, features a removable battery. And another standout feature here is the top bar above the display, which provides shortcuts to your favorite and recent apps, along with with special toggles. And as much as I love the design and the features here, there's just so much more that you can get in a smartphone with any of the others mentioned in this video. But of course, that's my opinion, and let me know what you think about that below. Lastly, we have the Moto Z, and this phone is incredibly thin, and I love that about it, but it's almost too thin for its own good. And it was also one of the first smartphones to omit a headphone jack, which kind of threw people off a little bit. It's a solid smartphone all around, but it doesn't pack the best battery life, and its main claim to fame comes with the modules that attach to its backside that you can purchase additionally, which will supply other hardware features like a battery pack, a mini projector, and an external speaker, and a whole lot more, but that's just not enough to make me care about it. Anyway, that about wraps up this video, and I hope you enjoyed all of these picks for the best smartphones of 2016. And if I had to choose just one, I'd definitely give the win to the Galaxy Note. Oh. Well, unfortunately that phone started blowing up, so the Google Pixel gets my vote here. But as I mentioned, iOS kind of stands in its own category, and the iPhone 7 is a great phone as well. But let me know what your favorite is in the comments section below, and be sure to leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thanks again for watching, everyone. This is Dom, and I'll catch you in the next video.